Okay, so that was disgusting. I'm sorry you had to experience that. I am Daniel Madison. Welcome back. Thanks for being here. I really do appreciate you choosing to spend a bit of time with me. I want to talk a little bit about two things that actually become one thing. One thing, which is Angle Zero. One of my effects, if you don't know what it is, we'll talk about it a little bit right now. And the return of my publication, Deceptions. I want to talk about Deceptions Volume 4. About 10 years ago, I started this magazine called Deception. Each issue focusing on a specific and singular plot or theory in magic. I released 3 volumes, and then my lifestyle and my life got too busy and I didn't have time, and I had to bring it to an end. But right now I'm so happy to tell you that it's coming back. It is back. Deceptions Volume 4 is available right now on my website. It's not just a magazine. This one is the Angle Zero story. It's not just a magazine. It is a PDF book. It's all completely downloadable, but there's a video with it too, which is almost an hour long. Now, this isn't about me giving up the secret of Angle Zero. It's about me telling the story of how this one trick, this one simple concept has been the foundation of my entire career. Almost been the foundation, the entire solely responsible foundation of my entire career within the magic industry. It's a very important story that I've really been looking forward to telling in my own words for so long. And bringing back Deceptions Volume 4 has given me that platform and that place, that creative space to talk about Angle Zero as a story, not as a trick. I mean, you will learn things in the book and we will talk about certain things, but the story is more important. And I wanted to put it on YouTube at first and make it a YouTube thing, but I really wanted to keep it secret to a point where it's only really shared with magicians, deceptive artists, people in our world who really want to learn and understand and hear my story, rather than just being put out there into the world for people who don't necessarily care. So Deceptions Volume 4 is on my website right now. You can go check it out. I talk all about Angle Zero, the one of the best tricks in the industry, if I don't mind saying so, my humble self. What the F swear word is Angle Zero? I can hear a few people asking, so let's talk about what Angle Zero is. You take a playing card and you tear a corner from it. The corner instantly vanishes and appears in an impossible location of your choice. There are no duplicates at play. This is one and the same playing card. The corner is checked and they match perfectly. This is Angle Zero. This is something that I created a long time ago and finally got the chance to tell the story in Deception. It's available at my website right now, the Angle Zero story, but I implore anybody who hasn't looked into this or anybody who doesn't know this magic trick, head over to Illusionist and check out the Angle Z project that I made with those guys a few years ago. Everything you need to know is in there. I do go into great detail in Deceptions Volume 4 about Angle Z, the execution, the performance, the method, the story itself. But I implore you, Angle Z at Illusionist is one of my personal favorite projects to date, so pick that up before you pick up Deceptions Volume 4. Now, Deceptions Volume 4 is more than just me talking about Angle Zero, and more than me just exposing it and showing you how it works and showing you what I do with it today. It's the story of it and the things that come with the story and the message and the messages that are hidden in there just for magicians and just for the serious card people wanting to learn, develop, improve and advance magic, sleight of hand magic, specifically with playing cards. Deceptions Volume 4 available right now at my website. Now that that is out of the way, you didn't just think I was going to leave you there, did you? Well, now that that is out of the way, I want to get to the point of why I wanted to make this video. Something that I spoke about at my Bradford lecture that I did a few weeks back, the talk that I did at the Bradford Magic Circle. I spoke a little bit about how I don't mind sleight of hand being exposed on film, specifically on YouTube, which became a big question. Like, do I mind magic and sleight of hand being exposed on YouTube? And it's a very interesting topic that anybody involved in magic and sleight of hand will have their own different version of, or their own different opinion on. Mine, when it comes to magic, I think magic should be kept as a performance, and it should be respected for the art of its performance. The method shouldn't make a difference to you. You should appreciate magic for what it is, for what it's displayed as, for what it's presented as, and for how it's performed by the magician. That is what it's there for. Forget the method. Wanting to know the method of the magic trick is like watching a film and not caring about a film, just wanting to know how it was made, which is fair enough. But to appreciate the film as a piece of art, which is what movies are, you should watch the film and just appreciate the film. That kind of has holes in it, but I know what I mean. When it comes to sleight of hand, it's a little bit different, especially the sleight of hand that I like to practice and perform and execute, because a lot of sleight of hand is more interesting from the other side, is more interesting from the performer's perspective, the performer's point of view. The techniques and the mechanics can be beautiful in sleight of hand, in the practice of sleight of hand and the execution of sleight of hand techniques. So when it comes to that, I think as long as you're not revealing or directly trying to give away magic secrets, I think it's a really commendable thing to expose sleight of hand for the sake of the beauty of sleight of hand, to showcase how incredible some sleight of hand is and how intricate and difficult some sleight of hand is. In certain cases, it is okay to expose sleight of hand. In fact, I've been exposing techniques for about 10 years now. Going back to one of my early videos, Exposure, I exposed every single move in that video, and you've got to appreciate sleight of hand from a different point of view. All that being said, I want to teach you something that I've exposed on Instagram last week, a move, a control. And the reason I don't mind teaching you it is because I usually only ever do this for the sake of exposure. I only ever perform this move so that you can see how nice and how intricate sleight of hand can be. So I'm not teaching you this to do it as a move, but I guess I'm teaching you it more so that you can appreciate the sleight of hand that goes on behind something simple as controlling a playing card from the middle of the deck to the top. So without further ado, I'm Daniel Madison. This is the Mad Tenkai Steel explanation tutorial, explanation, tutorial. So the Mad Tenkai Steel, we're going to use the Ace of Spades. It is a very, very intricate idea, and I developed this more for the love of sleight of hand than the actual execution of the trick, which is very backwards when it comes to the performance of magic and sleight of hand. But still, I'm a sleight of hand artist, and people who can relate to me will relate to this very idea of creating moves just for the sake of sleight of hand. It's really backwards and it's bad practice, I guess, for magic, but in terms of sleight of hand, I don't mind. Let's get some focus, please. Right, there you go. So the basic idea starts with this. The Ace of Spades is at the bottom of the deck, and I'm gonna shift that Ace of Spades from the bottom into a Tenkai position. Now, a Tenkai position, for anybody who doesn't know, is a method of palming playing cards so that your fingers can move freely. When you see this from the front, the card, the Ace of Spades, is completely hidden, yet it is held right at the back, protruding quite heavily from my point of view, but from the front, can't be seen, allows the fingers to move freely. It's used for so many different ideas and moves and magic tricks. I like this idea of the card being here and going from here into a Tenkai position. It was hard to show from the angle, but here's what's happening. I'm holding the deck basically in the middle of the top and bottom ends between finger 1 and the thumb. Now finger 3 is going to come over and contact finger 1, pull down and shift that ace to the side, and when it clears the thumb here, it's then going to go all the way down the side over the deck and lock itself into Tenkai position. I call that the Mad Tenkai steal. One of the ideas for this, you can steal a card from the deck like this. So the card's here, I put the deck down, I've stolen the card. It's quite messy, it needs a lot of distraction. That's why I never use it in performance. But in terms of showing people the sleight of hand technique, here's what I used to do. The card would go inside, control to the bottom of the deck. I would do the Mad Tenkai steal, so the card is now here. I would cut the deck like this, and then cut the deck here. And autofocus has been turned off because it is terrible. So I would show the ace of spades on the bottom, for example. And as I'm putting the deck down, I would steal the ace of spades into a Mad Tenkai steal like this. I would then cut the top half of the deck here and drop the ace on top of this pile, and then put this deck here, so it looks like the ace of spades has been put inside when it is actually now on top. Now the way that I exposed this on Instagram was to simply demonstrate the execution of a sleight of hand technique, and I did it a little bit different. I held the deck in the same position, ready to receive the ace of spades into a Mad Tenkai or into a Tenkai position, but I used the free hand in a very, very simple way of making contact and pushing over here, and then very simply manipulating it back into Tenkai position. So the ace of spades is here to begin with. I put the deck down and I cut, and I make sure the deck is cut in a diagonal position so that this card lines up with the bottom of this deck, like so that I can just simply drop it on top, then come back here and put it over here. Now once I put this on Instagram, there's control on Instagram. A lot of people are asking if that's something that I actually do, if this is something I actually use. The answer is no. It's designed specifically to expose sleight of hand, but I did see a few people doing something very similar which I really liked, which is this idea of showing the ace here, getting it into position, and so now it's there, and then going like this. So obviously I need to expose this. Going like this, dropping the card on top on my way over, then spreading these cards so it looks like a more fairer straightening up, and now you can reveal the ace on top. So listen, the only reason that I've even thought about putting this on YouTube is because so many people were asking me about the Instagram video about my opinion on whether it's okay to expose sleight of hand, but also that specific move. People were asking about it, confused, thinking that it was supposed to be used as a real control. Believe me, it's not. There are hundreds of different ways and methods to control the playing card from the middle of the deck to the top, or any position in the deck to the top. So many easier ways than that. That one very thing, the Mad Tenkai steal, was designed specifically to show the mechanics of sleight of hand. Kind of backwards, not the best direction to take the art of magic in, but certainly a good way to demonstrate skills when it comes to sleight of hand, I believe. Now because of that Instagram post, so many questions came from it, and I became so interested in what people think. I know what I think it's okay to expose sleight of hand as long as it doesn't damage a magic effect, or it doesn't ruin the art of it. For me, sleight of hand is an art, so I like to demonstrate my art. Usually that's done through exposure and exposés and demonstrations of card cheating, demonstrations of sleight of hand, rather than portraying a magic trick or showing a magic trick. But I'm fascinated in what people think. So do you think it's alright to expose sleight of hand techniques, or to expose magic even? It's a huge topic, but I think specifically I'd love to know what people think about the exposure of sleight of hand techniques. And whether or not I should do some more, I think I probably will. Anyway, I've had a bit of time off. I've been a little bit unwell, but I'm feeling better and I'm glad to be back doing this. I'll be back soon with some more videos, but right now I am Daniel Madison. I'll see you next time. And I have no idea what I just did that for.